Hear me out on this, right?
Okay.
It's gonna be hot fuchsia pink.
No, fuck. What the shit?
Welcome back to Dealing Seconds podcast with your Cards and Beards crew. I'm Chris.
And I'm Danny.
I'm John.
Guys, we've been gone for some time. We're very, very sorry about that. We know we've been MIA, but for very good reason. If you guys haven't followed us on Instagram, also following our second page, Crafters Playing Cards, hint, hint, in the description below, there's actually going to be a link to our upcoming Kickstarter campaign. As if you're looking on YouTube right now, you will see John and Dan holding up the Crafters Playing Cards, soon to be on Kickstarter. We cannot wait. We've been working on this day and night. It's just been a labor of love. James, who's not with us right now on this call, and right now, he's the designer behind this deck. If you haven't followed him, his Instagram handle will be
track
in
him
the description
down.
below. Track him down, follow him. His work is insane. But that's what we've been working on, guys. We've been really trying hard to get this done. If you also haven't followed us, Kickstarter is coming out October 15th.
Yeah.
So, like I said, click on that link in the description below. Hit that little bell. Be notified when we go live, because this is going to be a really fun deck that we cannot wait to put out for you guys.
Hell yeah.
You
Can't
definitely
wait.
don't want to miss those early birds.
No.
And following the Instagram is going to do you some good, because over the next couple weeks leading up to the 15th, we're going to put out stretch goals, cost, early birds, because got to have those. So those are going to kind of trickle in. So you might want to be in on that, because I tell you, the early birds only going to be through the weekend. Launch, So
just quick early birds, and also there's the stretch goals. You definitely want to come see what those are about. The add-ons, you want to see what those are about. We're not gonna spoil anything right now, but there's some really interesting stuff coming down the pipeline for this campaign, and we cannot wait for you guys. So again, all the links will be in the description below. Our Crafters Instagram page will be in the description below. The Kickstarter campaign page, the launch page will be in the description below. So click it. Be notified when we go live on October 15th. We cannot wait.
Yep. It's going to be awesome.
Hashtag that was not an ad. Kind of. Sort of.
kind of was.
Kind of was.
Sponsored by ourselves.
Yeah, that ad was not an ad.
No, this is us. We're doing this for ourselves. Well, guys, besides that, what's up with you guys? How you guys been?
Been good. Just, busy doing behind the scenes stuff with crafters, doing family stuff, card stuff as always.
Yeah, pretty much the same, really.
Yeah.
Life.
Yep. Look, for those of you who've never done a Kickstarter before, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work.
There's been a lot of messages and
back and forth.
Call. Yeah.
That and my junior year has been kind of a headache with the printer, going back and forth with a lot of work with them, but I think we're good there. So that took a bit of my time. But,
it happens. I mean, we all have life in general. There's other things that are happening. So, but we're back. And you know what? We're going to have another fun talk like we always do. We're going to BS a little bit. Dan, by the way, that is a beautiful card.
I'm just going to sit here and hold this the whole time.
Your arm's going to hurt after a while.
Already.
Well, I see yours, and I one up you. By the way, classy looking Joker, guys.
Yes. Beautiful Joker. It honestly really is.
It is.
A lot of shit's been happening in the card community since we've been gone. It's only been like a few weeks now. We haven't done this.
Since you've been gone.
As Dan sings us, our first song of the night.
I can't breathe for the third time.
Now we're going to get copywritten strike.
No, because I sound nothing like her, so we're all right.
And you're off pitch. So it's okay.
Always off pitch.
Always off
That's
pitch.
not a soccer term.
No, it's not.
Pitch? No, whatever. Anyway.
Also rugby pitch.
Pitch is golf.
I love it. No, but a lot has been happening. Wow. But a lot has been happening in the car community recently, and we've all been talking about it. So we're like, we got to do a podcast on this because it's just been insane. A couple things. In my opinion, one, recently, 3011 has launched a new deck. I think everybody's by now has seen it. The Notorious B.I.G., a.k.a. Biggie deck. East Coast rapper, one of the godfathers of rap. Granted, I'm a New Yorker. I'm not a big rap fan. Gonna say this, but that deck, in my opinion, is horrendous.
Terrible looking deck.
It is. I think I texted this to you guys. It looks like your grandmother's rug. When you go over to her house, and it's like she's stuck in like the 70s and has that like China rug, that faux China rug, and looks just like that. That back design is exactly like that. And I'm just like, Uh,
Did you see the front of the tuck case as well?
yes,
If you, oh man, it's
it
you know what's
hurts.
crazy though? So they went live today at noon Eastern, and they
Really?
sold out. They sold out in
Oh
like
yeah, they
10
went. Yeah,
minutes.
yeah. But like here, I'm gonna go
But how
pull it
many?
up.
But how many decks do they print?
Like 10.
I don't know that to be. I don't know the answer to that one, but I mean, people. Uh, I'm with you. I think it's definitely not the most attractive thing I've ever seen, but people loved it, man. Like,
It's more for. I think it's more because they were collaborating with the Biggie estate, and they were able to get that license and do that
mhm.
versus the actual look of the cards.
Just because you can get a license doesn't mean you should.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I like looking at it and everything. The closest thing I saw in the final product, their advertising, almost the only reference I saw to Biggie was the gold chains in the pictures.
Yeah.
The deck, the back design. I still to this day am trying to figure out how it even
It almost looks
relates.
like a Bitcoin logo.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
I
Yeah.
mean, so yeah.
You know,
So let's
you know what
see.
else it looks like? I was thinking, it looks like a test print page when you buy a new printer.
Yeah, it kind of does. And that ace isn't very good either.
Mm-mm.
I honestly saw a couple things of it, and I was just like, come on, so many other licenses you probably could have gotten better and done
Oh,
instead of that one. Like,
yeah.
for example, I love as everybody knows by now, by me, I love the Harry Potter decks. I thought those were amazing. I also thought I'm not a big Grateful Dead fan, but I thought that deck was beautiful. I thought the
Hmm.
designer who did that one was amazing. Star Wars, eh. Avengers or Marvel, eh. It's just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Biggie deck. Ugh.
Yeah,
But I mean, I feel like the Avengers and Star Wars is going to be as close as we're going to get to like another Monarch or anything like that. Like those are their
100%.
standard decks to me now, which is fine, whatever. But
Yeah,
like
and don't get me wrong,
this,
don't get me wrong, those are fine because they're also giving people a chance, especially a younger crowd, a chance to get a custom deck for a cheaper price.
The
it's
cool
not
thing
going to
too
show up
about
in
it
dude,
is,
bro. Come on,
That
come
looks
on.
like a China rug.
yeah.
But
The
like
cool thing
here,
about,
oh, go ahead, John.
I was just saying, the cool thing about like their Star Wars decks and Avengers decks, it brings a lot of younger kids
That's why.
into
Yes,
playing cards.
and it's at a
But
cheap price.
on that though, these they're $20.
That's
They
Yeah.
were
that's
$20.
that's another thing. Like, is this now because Theory 11 is doing so many licenses? Do you think now they're having to up their prices to pay for all those
Bro.
licenses?
I mean, I have no idea. But I mean, let's
Yeah,
talk Theory 11. The
I
pirate
mean,
deck,
granted,
that was,
that's a traditional face that he's always had, like that
So
style of
yeah,
picture. Everybody knows him as that. But I thought that was just like, eh.
last thing on this because they sold out quickly. If you go to their Instagram, because I don't know if it was on the web page, let me read what they put. Notorious Big playing cards sold out. Our next batch isn't expected until early 2023. So this wasn't even limited,
No.
nope.
and they sold on from to me. Look, because I wasn't interested, it sounded like it was a limited run, but
They
it's
just
not.
did this. I can't remember what deck it was. They did this with another one too because I pre-ordered, or I ordered it the first day of release.
Beatles?
No, man, I think it was the Dune deck,
Oh.
and I had to wait because same thing. They sold out. I had to wait like 2 months for them to
Mm.
print more.
Which is weird that they wouldn't print a bunch right off because they know just on the Theory 11 completists will get the decks.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm going to order one just. I think I told you guys just because it's a Theory 11 deck. It's
Right.
not going to get opened. It's just going to sit on the shelf with the rest of them.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Why $20 when Theory 11 has always done
Yeah,
I mean, even the Marvel decks and the Star Wars decks, which have more, I would say, have more grasp than the Biggie deck, and they were charging $10, $11 for that, but for Biggie they're charging 20. I don't get it.
well, I think one thing that is creating this jump in price is Theory 11. I noticed in the last year is leaning way heavy to the foil side of the spectrum.
Yes.
It
Mm,
seems like everything coming out right now is foiled, and it's not even. But the thing, if you're going to charge $22 a deck, like the pirate deck, think I paid $21 a deck for that. And the foiling was so bad that it showed through on the other side of every single card.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost was like it was so heavy it was almost like it was smudged. There was no crisp details, no, you know what I mean? Like everything was just kind of soft.
Yeah, and I just think these companies are just doing too much. I also think what Theory 11 is doing is the reason why they're upping their prices, and this is just again my opinion. I'm speculating, is the fact that they also have to pay off all those licenses, or pay themselves back for paying to get all those licenses because they've been going hard. I mean, think about it. This year alone, how many licensed decks did they put out?
A lot.
A lot. It's almost like I feel like they're almost like becoming the next Penguin Magic, where Penguin is releasing they were releasing a deck like almost every single month of another
But are
deck.
their decks 20?
No, that's a different story. They're like $12, but
That's
like,
the thing
geez.
for $20. Like if I'm going to spend $20 on a deck, I expect to have a custom deck, right?
Yeah.
Their courts. If you look through like all the Avengers decks, all the Star Wars decks, the Dune deck, the courts are the same with different faces and minute changes here and there. It's all the same layout. There's nothing custom about it other than they changed the face. I mean, granted that's custom, but I mean, especially if you get a license for a deck, like Jesus Christ, the possibilities are endless, right?
Yeah.
So why would you stick with the same frame on like your quartz and everything and just do minute changes here? And then charge $20 for it. It's crazy to me.
Their thought process. If it ain't broke, why fix it?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'll tell you.
I've given up on
deck
them.
is really kind of like the last one I got from him, and I think I'm. Give me an artisan. Give me monarchs.
Exactly. I was gonna say, give me those back. Bring me back.
Not like a limited edition monarch. Give me another brand new monarch.
Yeah, new color. Give me a new color. Give me
No
something
foil
different.
on the cards,
No,
please.
just standard faces. You know.
And why Biggie? You're
Maybe
based out of Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, right. I'm wondering.
Would've
You know
been
where he
better-
was killed? Where was he killed? New York?
New York.
Las Vegas?
Yeah,
I think
New
it's
York.
still New York.
Yeah. Okay, but like you're closer to the fucking California.
I'm wondering if there's
Tupac,
if there's
there could've been so many other
something if there's something in relation for this time of year with him, and maybe that's why. I don't know.
Who knows?
I wasn't big into him.
Same.
Get it?
Don't worry, the Tupac deck is coming next. I'm sure.
Insert.
It better not.
Dun-dun-ch.
It'll be Puff Daddy. He'll be like, I want my own deck.
Oh my gosh.
Screw that.
Give me a Weird Al deck. Come on.
There you go.
Let's get relevant with the times here.
That would be fun. That would be fun. But that also leads us to the fact of like all these companies are now charging a shit ton of money for decks. A shit ton. And they're charging a shit ton of money for decks that aren't limited.
Mm-hmm.
Which
they say they are.
But they say they are. But it's like, okay, you're charging $20, $30, sometimes even $40 a deck, and you're still printing 5,000 decks. Maybe
Yeah,
sometimes
see, to me,
more.
that's not limited.
And I'm going to say it outright, Fontaine, $20 a deck, and you're printing 5,000 plus decks.
Mhm.
Like, I'm sorry.
So here's one thing for those who don't know. So I'm a huge Wonder playing card fan. I love Chris's design. I love the way they look.
I love.
I mean,
they're
everything about him is great, right? This is a limited deck, signed 100 only. He's never going to reprint them. You know how much I paid for this? It was only $24, and it's amazing. But
And
that's a limited. That's a limited
limited.
deck.
That is limited versus other people. I mean, granted, like, for example, when we do crafters, we're not going to say it's limited. We're printing of, maybe 1,000 of them. Now, that's limited, too, because he only printed, how many of those? 500? If that?
He printed 475 because he made sure whoever backed it got one.
Yeah, 475.
And that was it.
And he's
And
never
they're
gonna-
not going to be reprinted.
Nope.
Yeah.
And that's limited. That's a very limited thing.
Yeah.
And they weren't overpriced either. They were like $30 on Kickstarter?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and that's Luke. He doesn't overcharge. But even nowadays, I've been on Kickstarter recently, and I'm just gonna say it because I don't come at me. Come at me, people who are fanboys of this person. Third Way Industries. Like, I love his work. Don't get me wrong. Gio has some amazing artwork.
You're a big third way guy.
I have a ton of Third Way decks.
Yeah.
I'm the first person to say it. Like, I have a ton of Third Way decks. But seeing the fact that now he's going to a point where like his recent campaign that he just finished, Heartless, $40 a deck. I am sorry. That is.
Does it come with a heart?
I'm like, what the hell?
To give you a future heart transplant.
And then on top of that, he's charging how much on his website?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry. What gives you the cojones to be like, hey, let me charge $60 a deck for a deck of cards that probably only cost you with foil and stuff? Let's say maybe $10.
Yeah, you know, not you know, I can kind of counter that with like, yeah, that's way too much. But then like when you look at, you know, Brad Gabbard, right, his first solo deck, foil. You know, this is a limited deck. There's only 500 of these, right? So there's your limited deck. But these were not overpriced.
How much were those again? I forgot.
17-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the tier you got, you know.
Yeah.
Because the more you bought, the cheaper it was.
But even that, that makes more sense because like 17, 20 makes more sense. But right out the gate, $40 for a deck of cards.
Yeah, and that's foil.
Yeah.
I mean, look, yeah,
I don't understand what people would do that. Like even like also King's Wild. Like I'm sorry, why are you charging so much? And cards that you basically are granted they're works of art. He doesn't buy. I get all that. Fine. But they are unusable. You're not going to gameplay with those. You're not going to shuffle those cards up. You're not going to play cards with them. You're not going to do cardistry. You're not going to do magic because those are unusable. There are just like, okay, let me put them on display decks. Like, I don't get it. I really don't.
So here's a good example of a big company.
I just saw an Eye of the Ocean.
Oh God.
So, but listen. So I'm actually behind what he did with this deck. Eye of the Ocean, gilded, limited to 555. This version isn't printed beyond what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
$24.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
See now
and it's
that's
gilded, custom art, and I can open this and use it.
Yeah, that's done. That's done correctly. I respect that. That's done 100% correctly.
Now, the Intrepid deck from the same designer, same campaign, that was limited to 300. They are going for like 500 and something bucks. It's insane. And I think when you bought them, they were 155.
Whew.
I still don't get why it's so expensive. And I personally would never spend that much on a deck of cards.
I mean, I would if I may be wrong on the price. $600 later.
I may be wrong on the price. I don't know off the top of my head, but
you know, even so, even if I could flip it, I'm like, that's still a lot of money. It's still a lot of money to cough up right up the jump, you know. And I'm just like, I can't see myself spending that much money on a deck of cards. And that's what bothers me. And then there's people that are willing to pay for it. Granted, 100% willing to pay for it. And you know what? Whatever makes you happy makes you happy. And I'm not here to judge what makes that person, he or she, happy. In my opinion, it is way too much money. Because we all work hard for our money. We all have jobs, and we all pay rent, and we all pay bills, you know, as adults. Unless you're a kid, I get it. If you're like a teenager in high school, I get it. You're living with your mom and dad, and you have pocket money, granted. But I would have never at like 18, like 16, 17, if I was into cardistry, there's no way in hell I would ask my mom, like, hey mom, can I get $40 for a deck of cards? I am sorry. I would have gotten smacked upside the head.
I mean, look, like, shit, what was I going to say? My train of thought just went, ooh.
Almost like the A's.
That was the sound of a train crashing.
Almost like the Oakland A's baseball season.
Oh.
That kind of hurt, didn't it, Dan? Sorry. How much did they lose to the Mets by? The Mets recently they won one out of 3.
The Mets are a playoff team. The Mets are gonna go. They're gonna lose to the Yankees in the World Series, but then they're gonna end up with Aaron Judge next year. So
yeah, true. Good point.
See, I'm a baseball fan, so I've turned off the A's. Now I'm focused on Aaron Judge right now in my life. That's what I'm watching. Waiting for him to break the record, and then win a World Series, and then do this to the city of New York as he walks to another team next year. That's what I want in life.
How do you really feel, Danny?
Okay. Yeah, just say how you really feel.
But man, I forgot what I was gonna say. I had a thought, and you just completely destroyed it.
It'll come back to you. Don't worry.
No, I know. Okay,
there it is.
So it might be that trend where creators are trying to catch up from the COVID stuff, the
Yeah, it
last
could
few
be.
years. Like, oh, you know what? I couldn't do a whole lot of campaigns because people weren't spending money. Now I'm trying to ramp up and get money, 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 money. But I would rather, if that's your thought process, because it slowed you down from releasing often, I would rather kind of do what some guys do, like Luke Wadey and a few others, where they have a campaign, and then right when it hits to almost fulfillment, boom, another campaign. Then, they kind of stack. Why don't you stack that? I'm not spending a ton of money on you, but I'm still buying like 5 decks a year from
Yeah,
you.
but
Yeah.
the only thing is like with the big companies they can do that because they are well known and they are being they
Right.
are known for fulfillment. Whereas like a smaller guy like us, for example, if we did that, it wouldn't work because nobody knows us yet.
Even Emily
So-
doesn't even do that really.
Yeah, but I would also say to you like COVID. Granted, everything took longer in COVID, but I think more people bought more cards during COVID because they were sitting at home doing nothing else. Like they had expendable cash. They weren't going out to eat. They weren't going on dates. They were staying home.
I can
And-
attest to that. I bought a lot of. I bought a lot in
Yeah.
2020.
I mean, my spending habits didn't change. They've changed more now
Yeah, post.
coming out of it,
Yeah,
and
But-
just my taste changing.
Yeah.
doing this podcast and just talking with the group and just being more interactive with the community and just seeing, I don't need all this stuff.
yeah, same. Like my
same.
honestly, I've bought maybe in this year in 2022, I probably bought maybe, and I'm not talking about Kickstarter campaigns. I'm taking those out of the question. I'm talking about just decks of cards. I've maybe only bought like maybe like 4,
Yeah, I barely bought any.
probably like 8 to 10 decks, if that. And I'm like, and this was coming from a guy who was buying a shit ton of decks and getting my collection going. And
Same.
like what Dan said, like talking to everybody in the Cards and Beards group and everybody and just knowing everybody in the community, my tastes have changed. I am no longer like trying to buy everything. I'm more like, hey, let me go to Kickstarter instead. Let me help the real people of the community out. For example, like what we're doing or what Emily's doing soon. By the way, shout out to Emily. October 12th, right before us, her
Dude,
Beacon deck is coming out. I
you-
can't wait. I'm going
You
for
open
it.
the door. I cannot wait. She's been teasing this Lighthouse deck for
Oh,
like a year.
I've
And
was-
I love Lighthouses. And, dude, I am in.
me too. I told
Couldn't
her.
back her 11th hour deck, the second one, because of Bill fucking Davis.
But then
Piece
she
of
dropped
shit.
Bill Davis. She's
Okay.
like she's no longer associated with him. Thank God.
But that's good. That's
Yep.
good. But I'll
Yep.
buy that deck from her after.
Oh yeah,
That-
yeah.
But I'm glad.
That-
I'm glad this Lighthouse deck's coming, and I can't wait.
Oh, I'm
That
definitely
lighthouse
backing
fan
Beautiful.
looks
it. It's
unreal.
beautiful.
'Cause, it kind of reminds me of her mountain deck. That the elevation. That's my
Yeah.
favorite deck of hers. I love that night. It's just.
No, and like I said, I was texting with her I think today actually, and I was telling her I was like, yeah, I'm all in on that one. Like I'm going in on that lighthouse
Yeah.
deck because I think it's beautiful. I think the tuck case looks great. It's classy. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm really liking this one. I'm going in. And that's what I'm doing. Like for example, like with you, Dan, I backed your junior year deck because that's something I really was passionate about. Luke Wadey, his decks immediate. Things like that I will
Well,
back.
Yeah, and it's like you said, I was the same way when I got into cards. I was just gangbusters. Like I thought everything was cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm going through my collection almost weekly, going, okay,
What can I purge?
what am I getting rid of? Like I just sold all my Fontaines. I've cleared out over half my King's Wild collection. And now I'm more, I'm a Orbits, Wadies, Mr. Cup,
Yeah.
and like the smaller guys.
Yeah, your tastes are coming in.
So I got rid of my S17 Patreon. I got rid of my Third Way Patreon. I stuck with Wadies. And I'm more focused on.
I'm pretty excited to
refined.
to get the wedding tuck.
That's gonna be interesting.
Dude.
That looks beautiful.
That might be one of the
classy.
classiest decks of the year.
And
Like,
it's going
let's
to be
be
an
real.
all-out war for people to get the very, very, very limited amount of wedding decks he's going to release.
So you know what's nice?
An auction
if
he's
you're,
doing.
you
Yeah.
know what's nice? If you're in his Patreon, you get one anyway, and you get a signed card with it.
But you're only getting it if you're like I think level 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's
Like,
top tiers.
You have to be top tier, which I think all 3 of us are.
Yeah,
Day
it's
one.
like
Yeah.
30 a
Day
month thing.
One.
Yeah. I'm like
I-
him
I
are
can't-
people I will definitely back.
And I cannot wait to see your guys' decks. And mine's coming up now, and I've been trying to figure out what colors to do.
What deck?
So here-
what series are you going to go with?
Yeah.
Hear me out. Hear me out on this, right?
Oh God.
It's gonna be hot fuchsia pink.
No, fuck. What the shit?
It's gonna be
So,
hot.
You know
fuchsia.
what? Didn't you see? I think it was
Pepto.
56 and Cello. He posted his grid deck was kind of that orange pinky-ish.
The orange, no, but that
Yeah.
actually looked really well. Almost like
It
the
did.
haze. It's like a sunset
Yeah.
version,
Yeah.
and he did a grid version, which I was like, oh, now that is pretty.
Yeah, that was pretty neat looking.
so
I like
I
Uma's too.
And I had to do, I had to do
like-
the arrow.
Yeah.
I kind of like the hexas.
Okay.
And I am partial to orange and black.
Ew. But okay.
Well,
Halloween?
that's it. Well, it's my school colors.
Or you could just be like, orange is the new black. You're going to prison.
That's a good show.
Jesus. All right.
I'm just throwing
But
it
no,
out.
well, that's the thing. Like, I have 2 months to figure it out.
You
So I'm
better
trying
think
to,
about it. Yeah.
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 So, but that brings up, because you guys, Danny, you've already done. This is your second one. Chris, this is your first, right?
Yep.
So, is it only weighty colors you can ask for, or is it literally any
No.
color?
Any color.
Nope. You just
He-
got to stick with his
style.
One of his styles,
Okay,
like
so
arrow, grid.
so here
any
so
colors.
hear me out. Hear me out.
That
That
color?
green, that color.
Huh. He
This-
for those who are not watching, he held up a Cardistry Con V2 Orbit deck.
Yes, that kind of like
That
sea
foamy,
foamish.
Okay.
the foam. I could see
And
that.
what? And with the hexa?
Yeah. So here, so I've got
Ooh.
the
Chroma edition.
hexa. I've got the hexa here.
Now, would you do
Could
the
be interesting.
that could be, or would you do with the chroma edition though? With the border, or without the border?
I don't know. I kind of like the borderless.
So what I did, like for both of them, I went arrow and I said green and gold for the A's. Go. I'm not telling you anything else. I want to see what you do. You know.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
told him
Yeah.
all I want is like a dark blue, give me whatever that arrow go, because arrow V2. I told him arrow V2. I was like, arrow was the first deck that got me into weighty,
Same
so
here.
I was like, and it was the first deck I backed from him, so I was like, you know what, this is gonna be my first deck from you. I want an arrow version. Go. He showed me the renders. I was like, I'm done. Yes, please. Here's my money. Give me decks.
Yeah, and then my second one was the mono. I went the monos.
Yeah.
I think,
so
I think
that's
that'll probably
the other thing.
be my next year. Then.
So I love the way this deck looks. It's just so simple, right?
Yes.
So I kind of want to do this one too. And I don't know, man. I'm so torn. Like
It's a tough
inside,
decision,
it
but
is
just
killing me.
whatever decision you make, it's gonna look great.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just remember, when you do that, you can't. He even tells you in his emails when. By the way, if you join his Patreon, go check him out. You can join his top tier. You can get into the discussion as well. That he's like, listen, you tell me a design, you cannot nitpick different things. He's like, nope, that doesn't work. You tell me a design, I create it. We can talk about certain things, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, move this here, move this here. That's not happening.
And I think that's what makes it so cool is
I have
it
that,
is
and I have
guaranteed to be a one-off.
Yep.
Danny, you still, you know what?
I have one
I know,
left.
and you're gonna sell it to me tonight. You don't have a choice.
I mean,
You don't have a choice.
bro, look at that.
See,
I will come.
And then here. I can't fan with the other hand, but look, it's a different fan the other way.
Yeah. Can we just
Very
get
terribly.
this? Can we just get this transaction over for those who aren't watching YouTube? He's holding up his first weighty custom deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I bought one immediately.
Yeah, I know.
I was like immediate. Yes, give me. I have it sitting still cellophane. I haven't touched it. It's sitting on my wall.
Yeah, I need one, Danny. Seriously.
The wall of
So
waiting.
yeah, limited decks, huh?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So going back to our original discussion, we were actually talking about prices and limited decks. But there's what also bothers me is like certain creators will say, "Hey, this is a limited deck. They're going to charge you $40." But then on top of that, and I've said this time and time again, I'm sounding like a freaking broken record. They are radio silent in the community, whether it be Instagram or anything else.
Yeah. I hate that.
Yeah.
What? Like you expect people to spend so much money.
I actually like him, Dan. I
know.
We all like Paul. He's honestly a great down to earth guy, but also sometimes, and granted, he has kids, he has his own business company. I completely understand he has other things going on, but it's hard when it's like radio silence for so long, and we're waiting and waiting and waiting That just
Yeah,
hurt.
it does.
It's frustrating.
Another thing is also, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say another person, the gentleman Wake, Omar.
Oh, he's total.
Radio silence until his things are getting printed or he's coming out with a campaign.
Jesus, you want to talk about overpriced limited editions?
Yeah.
Holy cow!
You see, and people the thing is like that with the Cherry Casino, they don't need to. People know them. The thing is, they're always being printed. People know Cherry Casinos, so it's like.
Can I tell you, these Cherry Casino, what are they? The hollows? Is that what we're calling them? Dude, beautiful, very well done, and they handle so nice. If you think you're getting that,
Henry's got them on his site.
Yeah, well, that's where I got these. But they are great. It's really hard to see on camera, but both that and the cherry are separately foiled. Holographically.
Really?
Yeah. Kind of a bummer that the faces aren't metallic inks, but maybe they couldn't make that work. But this does not feel. I thought I was going to get the Hollow Fontaine feel.
Yeah.
That really soft.
Yeah.
But no, this is pretty close to just a normal cherry deck. It's a little softer because of the foil, but and it doesn't really come through. It does a little bit.
The hollow
cherry, but it's But I mean,
really good though.
But like I was saying, like going back to our discussion, like it's like there's certain people that are so radio silent in the community, but then are overpricing. But then, and like I said it earlier in this podcast, whatever makes you happy makes you happy. If you want to spend that amount of money, I'm not even gonna get into that one. I am not even gonna get into that one.
Wow, I show a Mint V2 deck, and he goes, and Chris just about jumped through the video screen in the interwebs to kill me.
Let's just say this way.
Wait, hold up. I don't know your thoughts on this.
Honestly, I don't know anything about this.
I'm not a fan of mints. I'm not a fan of them. They're radio silent. Granted, when he was doing his videos on YouTube and stuff like that, those were cool. But his latest deck that he had on a ripoff of Weighty.
100%.
It was.
Wait, hold on.
It was an immediate ripoff of Weighty's monos.
What did he call them? Waves? Or
Yeah,
somebody else.
it was.
Oh yeah,
I could not stand it.
I messaged.
I messaged Weighty. Same thing. I was like, dude, these are so. He's like, I know. I'm like, oh shit. Like,
yeah,
sorry.
Same.
I had like a soft spot in him. I could feel it, like just via text message. I was like, Luke it was like a soft spot for him, and all I heard was, you just see writing, and all of a sudden you just get he's writing for a while, but then you just get the, and you're like, oh shit, I hit a soft spot. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep. Same thing for me. I think he said something along the lines of
those.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's a fucking ripoff. I'm sorry.
Jeez, dude. Yeah.
I am.
And you know what? You know what sucks? Assad's better than that.
Yes, and he's a nice guy. I've seen his videos online.
A Mint V3 would have been just fine.
Yeah, it would have been perfectly fine.
This is the only Mint I have left. This was the very first Kickstarter I ever got.
Perfectly fine. But also, he's another person that's super quiet now.
Super quiet.
Like, nothing's going on. There's certain people like that just don't freaking talk to the community, don't want to listen, don't want to...
Yeah.
They just come out, when they come out with a new deck, and boom.
Again, I have always said,
Chris is a great guy.
If you're going to be a playing card company and you're not like the huge guys like Theory 11 or whatever, look at this company, study them, and be like Orbit.
Yeah. And guess what? Even Chris is still reaching out to the community to ask for advice and for help. Like, for example, if you've never watched Chris on Twitch, he streams on Twitch, and guess
funny.
what? It is. But also, his Papa Orbit, who designed that?
The gentleman that designed this deck. The
And
crafters.
Exactly. Like,
And
come on.
senior year.
Yeah. It's like you're asking. Did Dan just spill it? The beans?
So yeah,
yeah.
Chris Orbit is the model playing card guy.
That's what I would
Come at
say.
me.
Him and Weighty, I think are. Yeah.
100%.
Two
If
guys
every
that-
designer could be like that, could you imagine?
And honestly, they're always active. Like
Always.
Lucas is always active. Even if he's not producing a deck,
Who
he'll
prints
text him.
60,000 decks? Who?
But he wants to make sure
Yeah.
people get some.
I mean, even with the minis, right? He said, they sold out pretty quickly, but hey, we're reprinting.
Yeah.
Because we didn't make enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I was not prepared.
No.
Yeah.
But at least he owned it. He owned up to it. And he was like, listen, this is not going to be a limited run. We're gonna
I
make
still
sure
got
everybody.
2 each, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But yeah, but he's not overcharging either.
No, no, no.
Even for his like Cardstricon decks and other decks, even the collab decks, like whether it was like Aesop Rock or Mac Lethal, he wasn't
Yeah,
charging
what was Mac
$40.
Lethal? $17, I think.
17 or 18.
Yeah,
Something like
17.
that.
Yeah,
Which
Yeah.
is fine. I will pay that for an Orbit deck
Yeah,
because
that's perfectly
he
fine.
doesn't come out with 20 releases a year.
No,
Yeah.
but for him is a limited release because he's not printing that many decks with
He's not
those.
printing 20,000.
Exactly.
Fontaine.
Yeah, seriously. But that's a limited deck to a certain degree, of course, but not overcharging. Not saying, hey, I can sell these decks for $40 because guess what? People are going to buy them because they like me and I know I can make the money. He's more like, hey, I want to print these decks. Let me make them available for everybody. Let me make a little bit of money on it because everybody is a business no matter what. But I'm not gonna charge an arm and a leg. I'm gonna charge maybe $1 or $2 more than what you would normally pay for a deck of cards. You get this. Perfectly fine. I'm 100% down for that. I'm cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're good. I'm not upset about it. Even with the minis, he did the 2 minis in the box. It was what, $30?
Yeah.
So
Which $15 for a mini deck is pretty dang good.
yeah, for a mini deck is pretty damn good, and you get 2 for $30 in the other big box thing. So it's like
Yeah.
yeah, and I still have it over there. It's sitting
Oh,
on
sorry.
top of my shelf. But yeah, like those are good. But then you have people like Geo from Third Way charging $40-something a deck on Kickstarter, and then on his website, it's like, hey, let me charge you $400 for the starter kit, and you're like, you're getting maybe 7 decks. It's like, what the?
So-
who gives you the
So basically,
balls?
basically, these guys need to slow down.
Yeah.
And they need to come to Card Jesus moment.
Yeah. They need to
but
realize that the community is like we're not all made of sunshines and rainbows, and we don't have like deep pockets. We're all working people.
The tough part about that, though, is there are people like that out there,
And granted,
well,
and as long as there
Perfect
are,
line.
I don't think they will ever tone it back.
And hey, they do them, I guess, and I will
What-
just stick with my Luke Wadey.
I
exactly.
say it makes
Everybody
me
has
it
their
makes
own.
me appreciate Wadey that much more.
Yeah,
exactly.
who I can talk to at any time.
Yeah.
Again, I'm gonna restate this. Do buy what you like who you like in this community, because you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. You can like any creator. You can like us. You can hate us. You know what? We're all individuals. And
Who's gonna hate?
second one, there we go. Second one of the podcast. Dan's gonna do Tenkai.
What?
Tenkai.
Where'd it go?
As the drop happens, when we
Did you
hear it,
Because this microphone's ridiculous.
yes, we heard it. But like what you like, buy what you want.
And you know what? Anybody who's listening to this, if you want to come on and jump on the podcast sometime, we can talk about this or whatever. Hit us up. I will.
Yep.
We will talk to anybody,
Yep, we have
even
no
if you've
problem.
got one follower. Come on in.
Doesn't matter. You got
And
no
it's your mom.
followers. Wow,
What'd you say about Chris's mom?
No, Chris's mom's a nice lady.
she passed away 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, why'd you bring her up, Danny?
So we haven't done a deck check yet today.
No, we
Oh,
have
man.
not.
Nope.
No, we have not. Segue into that. That was like a harsh segue. We had a
Speaking
dead
of,
end.
you know-
We had a dead end street there. So now we go into.
Speaking of moms, hi Miss Cortez.
Hey, Mrs. Cortez.
Okay.
She's not here, but we love her.
All right, deck check. John, what do you got?
Well, I think it's
I
no
bet I-
surprise. No surprise. I can't put him down, man. It's so cool.
I don't
Holding.
got mine yet.
It's so cool holding something that you've put time into. And Danny, you have to know how this is, right? With your
Yeah, it gets kinda
freshman,
old.
sophomore.
Kind of over it now. You know what I mean?
Oh, well,
I'm just kidding.
Oh, fuck you.
yeah, seriously. No, I love it, man. Like, I've been using them. I've been looking at them. I've been figuring out exactly how I'm gonna do the deck cuts. Hint, hint.
Deck cuts.
What?
What?
You could probably edit that out if you need to.
Nope. That's the right in.
They're just, it's cool. It's nice seeing, what we've put together and actually holding it in your hand.
I love holding it
So.
in my hand.
That's what she said. So, crafters red of the
Nice.
week right there. Yep.
Yeah.
How about you, Danny?
Well, my go-to the last few weeks, and it hasn't really left my pocket, is the Richard Turners. I think I had him last time on the podcast too, but I can't
Okay.
put him down.
I got to get some of these somehow because you guys.
You don't understand.
I
There's something
don't.
about these things, man.
I don't.
And I've been practicing a lot of. There you go. Chris
I
has
knew
too.
it.
I've been practicing a lot of slights.
And they handle
My brain went.
and they handle so well.
Yeah. So and they're just a joy to use that.
Well,
So there you go.
I'm using the same exact ones, the blues. I do have the reds open. Shout out to Rodney, aka Cards and Bullshit. A couple podcasts ago, he heard that I never owned any Richard Turners, and Rodney, being a gentleman that he is and a Canadian brother,
He's not a gentleman.
I use that term loosely. I use it very vaguely and loosely with him. He said he wanted to send me a package, so I said make sure there's no anthrax in it or napalm or anything because it'll get stopped.
Or maple syrup.
I would have accepted maple syrup at least.
He's from Canada.
Yes, I would have accepted it. But he decided to send me the Rich Turner decks, and I'm like, holy shit, these are first. And he sent me 2 of each. So he sent me 2 reds and 2 blues. So I've opened
nice.
1 of each, and I'm like, dude, now I know what all the fuss is about. These things are super smooth.
So as someone who's still new in the cardistry side of things, explain to me first, why is it a Richard Turner? I'm guessing that's a person. And what makes that deck so special?
Okay, hold on.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
I'm still
Whoa,
new.
whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa,
Okay,
whoa,
John,
whoa, whoa.
John, when we're done with this podcast, hold on. When we're done with this podcast, next thing you have to do is go to YouTube, research Richard Turner, watch him. He is without a doubt the best card handling mechanic that has ever lived. No. It
Give
gets
him the catch. Give him the catch.
I'm gonna say all this. He does moves that you could only you know what he's doing, and you know what he's about to do, and you know the technique that he's about to use, but you still can't figure it out. But here's the flip side: he's fucking blind.
He's blind?
100% fucking blind.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm curious.
Everything is done.
Okay.
Everything is done by feel.
So it has to be perfect then.
His decks are this deck. Honestly, Dan has used it for a week or so. I've been beating the shit out of it, and this thing still handles.
Okay, so explain to me what, like, if I just have a standard Rider back and a Richard Turner, what's the difference?
The best way I can describe it is that it feels smoother. It feels
Is it a different stock?
Best way. $20 hooker, $1,000 escort.
Tell us about that, Chris.
I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
Here you go.
This is an unrelatable.
Your normal Target, Walgreens, anywhere bicycle deck is your store brand soda.
Yeah.
And this would be your Coke.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah,
Store brand soda's
yeah.
gross.
So are they rare?
No, they're
No, okay,
available.
so this is-
It's just they are really smooth. They're
So
easy
here's
to
what I
use. They
here's what I
handle
say. Should I just pick some up?
Yes,
You won't regret it.
you will not regret.
Okay.
that.
So that might be a good thing because I've been trying to get into all this cardistry stuff and learning. You know, it's so new to me.
FYI, if you want to learn like I do, I try to learn both. I try to. I lean now more towards the magic side and sleight of hand side. That's where I've been leaning into.
Yep.
Definitely look at Sean Devine. He is one of
100%.
my favorite people to
Yeah,
learn from on YouTube.
This is the guy that you. Well, you told me to look at YouTube, but you said he has a Patreon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And honestly, the way he teaches is simple, precise, and straight to the point. Like
His
shows.
teaching is very simple.
Yeah, very
very
simple.
very good.
It's not ornate. It's not fancy schmancy. He's going to teach you great slides, and he takes his time to show you exactly how he wants it done. And the one thing I could never do, and he loves to do it, is culling.
The culling. Oh my
The
god.
cull.
dude.
I can't cull for the life of me. But everything else, he teaches perfectly. And honestly, his
You know,
technique is great. Maneuvers are great. I've tried with these decks. I've tried with this, and I
I
can't.
can call sometimes
I
in some situations.
Well, I'm gonna have to actually look them up because you guys have recommended them a couple times. One, I feel like my life is so busy that I don't like time to sit down and watch.
I can tell you that
His YouTube.
a certain guy that we've been talking about, Sean, you might want to look into him since he may or may not have gotten his hands on one of these.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna research some
You should.
Turners.
You should. Awesome.
and I'm gonna check out his
Richard Turner.
videos.
Richard Turner, of all people, when you watch him, the first time I ever saw him do stuff, blew my mind. And then he waited until he said, "Hey, I'm blind." You're like,
Yeah.
what the? And he is insane with a deck of cards. You could picture the best card handler out there. They can't hold a candle to Richard Turner. He does shit with the deck of cards that you could only imagine to do.
Yeah,
even
insane.
who was it? Ed Marlowe even said, was it Ed Marlowe? Yes, I think it was Ed Marlowe, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Was it Ed Marlowe or was it? No, was it? No, forgot who called him the best card. And this is this is one of the best card handlers that ever lived.
I mean, he is, and just watching him and just knowing he's blind, you're just like, wow.
And he's telling you what he's doing. That's the thing. He's telling
That's crazy.
you. He will even tell you. He's like, listen, I'm gonna shuffle and you see him shuffle the deck and do everything. He's like, I'm gonna make sure this comes back to the top of the deck. And the next thing you know, like, how the hell? And he's blind.
Okay, I'll have to check him out
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to.
because I'm super curious now.
And then one last thing on Sean Devine, his videos are no more than like 4 to 5 minutes, so he gets
Yeah.
straight to the point, and yeah, so good place
Yeah.
to land.
Yeah.
It'd be a good thing for at work then.
Yep.
Oh yeah, super
Cool.
super quick, super easy. The only thing though, you have to keep yourself awake because he has a voice when he starts teaching that can actually soothe you and put you to sleep. So I have noticed a couple times, like I'll sit here on my couch, literally practicing, and all of a sudden I'm watching his videos, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, you're doing that, right? Okay, I gotta get up. Yeah,
Wow.
it's.
Okay.
He just said Sean puts him to sleep.
I'm watching his videos at 10, 11 o'clock at night.
It went from $1,000 escorts to
Yeah.
to this.
Hey, you
This
know,
conversation got
you
dark.
know, hey, escorts are not dark.
Awkward.
Fun times. Hey, shit happens. You have
Like you were
extra
saying
pocket
earlier, people can spend their money on whatever they want to spend.
Exactly.
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 You know,
See?
and sometimes we don't need to know what
Cards,
you're buying.
Hookers.
Yes, amen, amen.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. T-shirts. Who knows? By the way, love this T-shirt. I don't.
Oh, dude, great t-shirt company. man.
T-turtle.
T-Turtle is dope.
Turtle.
Got this on sale. It was perfect, and plus it's Street Fighter, and I love Ryu, so this was like perfect. It was like $15 or
Dang,
$12.
that's not bad.
Yeah, it was like
Wow.
half off.
You're such a stud.
Whoa. What?
Yes, I am.
No, you gotta do it with one hand.
See, I'm too fat. I can't.
No, come on. You can do that.
I can, but I choose not to. Let's all excuse Dan for farting.
Yeah. You think it was the deck of cards.
You would think. You would think. You would think it was a deck of cards. But yeah, going back to our original conversation that we were having because we were sidetracked. Which this is actually like a normal thing for us. We always like have a topic of discussion. We're like, we just go with it. It's fine. You know, we go with it. My thing is like going back to the original conversation with companies. It's like, why do you think people are having the mentality of saying, hey, let me pay whatever they're charging for it, just because it's them, or just because they have the FOMO thing, fear of missing out?
Both.
You think it's both?
No self-control and FOMO.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think
Because like I think Fontaine's is a great example of this. How many of their latest releases?
Bombed.
Yeah, exactly. Like normally you can be like, if I buy a brick, I could probably at least make $50 back, at least, like on a bad release. When's the last time you sold a Fontaine deck for face value or more?
I'm seeing. So I'm constantly online looking at prices of stuff, and so Fever Dreams was a huge thing for Fontaine, right? People went nuts over it. You can get a sealed brick of Fever Dreams for like $200 on eBay right now.
Now, I do have the Fever Dream the brick box, and that thing's pretty dope looking
Yeah.
on display. Yeah.
That makes sense. But it's just like these companies are charging way too much, and it's like you're not making your money back. I mean, hell, even I remember seeing a post from Henry maybe like a month or so ago, maybe a little bit longer. He was saying like, hey, I have so many fontaines I can't even give them away. This is like the first time ever he's had like excess fontaines.
I asked him if he would be interested in all of mine, and he's like, honestly, man, no. He's like, I'm sitting on so many right now that there's no reason for me to buy more.
But yeah, with them, it's definitely, I think the mystery bag kind of hurt them a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I think the hype train is coming down a little bit on that one.
Too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it was huge when they started all that this last year, and then I think this is when they just piled on. How many decks did they release this year? In the last 16 months.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
You're not including like the Nickelodeon decks and stuff like that,
Yeah, like, that's insane. There's some designers been doing this for 10 years who haven't even released that many decks in their whole stretch of 10 years.
Right? So I mean, it's still that FOMO shit, that people just like.
Yeah.
But
and you get the guys that just have to have everything.
Yeah. Disposable income.
For example, everyone. I mean, if you're on Facebook, everyone knows him, Christopher Kramer. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he owns every deck of playing cards ever made, ever.
Yeah.
So,
but hey, some people like that.
Yeah, and if you got the money, whatever, that's cool. But yeah, definitely the fear of missing out. But I think also that mentality of like, I'm going to be the one, who has this. Like, that's the guy that buys the top tier of every Kickstarter. That's the guy that buys that sarcophagus from Success, or like, you know what I mean. So
yeah,
it's like, granted, it makes you happy. Great, good on you for it. Do we think it's a bit excessive? 100%.
Yep. Sit here and hang out with my Richard Turners.
Yeah, like I wouldn't mind. Like me personally, like I would spend.
Or my Royal Regimes by Darren Lee,
which are amazing. Like I won't mind spending $100 on cards, but I would spend $100 on like a Luke Wadey, or Dan's decks, where I know I could get a bundle where I get more than just like 2 decks. I get an actual bundle, like with Luke Wadey, you get a carrot case, you get the decks and everything like that. So like that I don't mind spending my $100 on, but for $100 for like 2 decks of cards or 3 decks of cards, as John holds up the 0. Like things like that, perfectly fine, because you also know you're supporting a great guy, you're part of something.
Hold on. It's just hold on. No, I'm just kidding. That's it. Sorry.
Should we throw the Patreon signed cards in there too, Dan?
It's the only other Patreon one I have near me.
I don't have that one.
This is the only Patreon.
One at all?
Nope.
Because you weren't part of season 1.
Nope.
What a lose! I'm just kidding. I don't have it either.
I might have one.
Oh, there we go.
Stop. No,
I do have a.
Hold on.
Yes, John.
Let's talk about what decks you have and who's getting what here.
John's like pimping himself out right now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'd have to look because I have it in a Haprick box and shit somewhere.
Yeah. No, but it's like certain people I'm like, I will definitely pay the money for. Like certain people I have no problem paying, especially the little guys that, they all need help, and we all, like with Emily. Like if Emily has a nice like little bundle or early bird special that's like maybe 3 decks for a certain amount, I'm in on that. I might not get a half brick because I don't need a half brick, but 3 decks, sure, I will get 3 decks.
Shout out to one of my favorite little people.
Oh, I can't wait for the V2s. They just started shipping them.
Did they?
Yeah, they just started shipping them. Some of them
except for the ones that have signed decks in them.
Yes, those are signed.
Because those are on their way to me.
You're reselling them?
Yep.
Ah, so you're the reseller.
Yep, and I get to see
the cards,
the Origin edition and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah, they should be here at the end of the week.
Yeah, I don't know did I get anything signed by them? I don't remember. But yeah, like certain people I don't mind spending money on them. And also another shout out to another creator. Like I like his cards. The recent deck he just put out might not be my favorite. I still backed for a deck or two just because, I've started getting the completion, not the completionist, but
I have an idea of what it is, and I have a guess right behind my hand. I'll let you say it first, though.
it is the Cactus deck.
Ah, damn, that's what it is.
By Jaron Barlocker, excuse me. I like his cards. They always handle really well. His new deck that he put on Kickstarter, it's only like a week campaign, maybe, or 2 week, not even a 2 week campaign. I think it's like an 8-day campaign. Granted, he's printing. He even says it right out. Right, he's printing with NPC. He's doing a limited amount. Whatever he orders, that is it. He's only printing whatever people order. Like he made his goal like $1,000 or $1,500 because he needed to get a certain amount to get a good discount.
Right. Yeah.
But after that, he's only printing what the amount that he needs, and that is it. So I went in for 2 decks.
Nice.
I was like, you know what? Let me see. I want to see what NPC could do with the higher print run.
Right.
I want to see what the quality of the stock is on the higher print run. So I was like, you know what? This is perfect timing. And he was only charging like $20 a deck, instead of 25. So I was like, you know what? Fine.
I have 2 giant boxes down here from NPC that arrived today.
Oh,
My college parks.
Oh.
Yeah.
I may or may not have got a half brick of those.
All right. You want to take a guess of what's behind my hand?
I'm
I'm gonna leave it up to Chris because I have no idea.
Well, he said it was a creator he likes, and he wasn't a super big fan of the new deck. Then he only got a couple.
Ooh,
I was gonna say Darren because
Nope.
I don't
I
know.
wouldn't even know.
Oh,
Jamie.
Jamie.
By the way, one hell of a coin from his Ink Beast campaign.
See, I wanted to back more, and I, Jamie, if you listen to this, you know the story. I had originally backed more on his newer Botanica deck, but then I had to drop it because all of a sudden I was in the hospital, as everybody knows, and I had to pay my bills, and all those bills were starting to come in at the exact time that Kickstarter was going to fulfill, and I'm like, or like fund, and I'm like, I can't afford $160 on cards right now, so I had to.
Yeah.
Could I? But it did it anyway.
And that's the thing. I backed him
couldn't.
for. I was like middle of the road, and then Danny, during our last conversation, convinced me
Yeah.
to go to the top one.
You
and
guys
then
convinced me. You guys convinced me to go from like regular to like the next tier up, like to get everything. And I was like, all right, I'm there. And I was like, I was good. But then all of a sudden, bills start coming in. I'm like, fuck, and I had to drop it.
Yeah.
But I know I know myself. Like I'll talk to Jamie after the campaign, after it fulfills and everything. I'll talk to him and be like, hey, can I order some more from you? And I'll probably order like another couple decks from him.
Cannot wait for that carrot case and coin. That thing looks sick. And the tea, wasn't there a tea carrot case too?
No.
I thought there was.
I don't remember.
No, it has the carrot case that has the slot for the coin.
What the heck was that from? What am I thinking of?
The T was Ink Beasts.
T was Ink Beast.
It's something else maybe.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because he had
Maybe it
the
was.
acrylic.
Oh no, it
the
was.
coin,
Yeah, it was just
then it
because I
had, like,
ordered an extra. Chris, I think that's why I did it. If I remember right, I ordered an extra. I'll have to double check. I ordered an extra carrot case and an extra coin. I think when you had said you were dropping, I added to mine in case you wanted it. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to double.
I ordered
I'll have
another
to-
one just to.
No.
In your face.
No. I ordered an extra because you had said something about dropping. I'm pretty. I'll have to double check my pledge, but I'm pretty sure I
Thank
added
you.
the case
shit.
and the coin for you, so you had one. Because I knew
and I will pay
that
you
was a
back for that.
huge. That was a huge during our conversation when we
Yeah.
were looking at it. We were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, and if that's the case, I will gladly pay you for that, John.
I'll double check once we get off. Of
Once you find out, you just let me know, and of course, you know how we do it offline. Yeah. But yeah, I'm like, there's certain people I will always back. Jamie's one of them. Wadey, Dan, people like that. But
one that I went. You're talking about, there's very few decks that you'll back for a limited price, unless it's like one.
let me guess, Mr. Cup.
Yes, well, I'm I don't like he's so
Mr. Cup.
he's so unknown, which is crazy. But I had a chance to pick up one of his prototypes. So there's only 3 of these ever, and I think it was 90. But to me, it's worth it.
I mean,
Like you said, Chris, that there's certain people out there where it's just worth it. And it
now,
came in a carrot case. It came with the numbered everything on it. And
how much would that cost?
I don't know how much you want for it.
Danny's like, name your price.
I have everything but that one.
That's the prototype, right? Yeah.
4 or 5.
Dude, that looks.
Dan's the one. This is the one thing. Dan's like, fuck you.
Yep, pretty much.
That
this is the one thing.
cool looking.
This is the only thing I can say that I have that Dan doesn't.
But
That I
you know
can
what?
be like.
So-
If I did get that, it would ruin my carrot case display because I got the 5 with that white tuck right in the middle.
Oh, my carrot case.
Yeah.
I would throw the carrot case with it.
But it just wouldn't flow. But I'd figure it out.
Jeez.
You know, it's taking it out of the carrot case.
That's one.
It's nice and pretty.
That's one thing I did not go in on was the lore decks, and I am heavily regretting it now. But I didn't know who it was.
Well, I can't say that.
Artwork is great.
Yeah.
Is it my favorite? No, but artwork is beautiful.
I am.
Excuse
I
my kids
did.
being loud as fuck in the background.
Yeah, it's all
Who
good.
who was it? Who designed it?
Native
Brad.
tongue. Brad Gabbard.
Oh, okay,
Right,
okay,
it was
okay.
his first solo deck.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Because I'll tell you, the foil back one, dude, it's so nice. It handles really well.
I have that. I haven't touched it.
It's very
But you're
rare
not
to get a foil back deck where you can fan like that.
Yeah, well,
Most
it's
of them are
Monday.
clumpy and. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they don't overdo it. They don't
Yeah.
like sit on.
they don't King's Wild the piss out of their deck.
They don't expert
No.
playing card their deck.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And
Yeah. This.
smells just fine.
Yeah. But gentlemen, I think we vented a little bit.
You think we rambled too much?
Nah.
Nah. I mean, Dan, we've done worse. You know that.
It's
Yes, we have.
You
the
know,
best.
especially when we have guests on, we've done worse.
Yeah, and again, if anybody's listening to this and you want to be on, you don't have to be a huge name in the card industry.
Nope.
You don't have to be a designer. You can
Nope.
just be some Joe Schmo with a collection, and you want to talk cards.
Yep.
Or we want to talk about
And-
food. We're down with that too.
Yep.
You know, we're down with anybody. Hey, I'm a foodie. I like to eat.
So yeah, if you are, look us up on Instagram. Message anybody. Message Chris, Danny, James, myself, the Cards and Beard page.
Yeah, you want to
Yep.
talk West Coast versus East Coast?
Oh, jeez.
Oh God.
Who has better Mexican food, Texas or California?
Texas. By the border.
Well, so California's by the border too.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you go by the border, only by the border, both California and Texas, yes. But if you're James, who eats only Taco Bell, which I don't get,
Oh God, I love Taco Bell. James and
I
I
don't
are like
get it.
we're like this on our love for
Dude,
Taco Bell, man.
I just had a Mexican pizza last week because they finally brought it back again, and oh god,
I have a Taco Bell literally less than 400 feet from my house. And
The only
I will not go there.
The only thing about Taco Bell is you really got to plan out what you're going to be doing the next day.
exactly.
They don't call it Taco Hell for nothing.
That and White Castles, they're like that.
Never had White Castle.
We don't have White Castles out here. We're not white trash
Ooh.
enough for that.
Oh, damn.
We got
It's fine.
Damn.
The White Castle sliders. Oh my God, those were. It was like if you were constipated, instant diarrhea.
So is White Castle an East Coast thing?
I don't know. Probably. I thought it was all over, but it just.
I see their frozen hamburgers in the frozen section.
Yeah, they make
Yeah, but that's not the same though.
I bet you that's just as bad.
probably, if not worse. It's okay.
You don't see In-N-Out Burger in the frozen section.
This is
Yeah.
true.
So, getting back to our actual conversation, guys, if you want to join us on the podcast and talk like this with us, you guys
Yeah,
are more than welcome
seriously.
to. All our links to all our Instagram pages will be in the description below. You can hit us up in the description below. Let us know your thoughts of what we've been talking about today. Do you guys like certain creators that you will pay exuberant amount of money for? And that's perfectly fine. Come at me if you need to about talking shit about, certain creators. Perfectly fine. I'll take it. Whatever.
And it doesn't have to be just one person. If you and a buddy want to come on
Yeah.
together,
Yeah, it doesn't need
Let's
to be
do
a
it.
foursome. We can
Let's
do
do
a fivesome.
Yeah. Yeah, let's
Let's get it on.
Number 3 of the night.
It's been a few weeks, man.
oh man,
So you were catching
it.
up. We usually do one a week,
Little
so
bit, yeah,
we've missed
yeah.
a few weeks. So you got to catch up. I get you.
Exactly.
I get you.
Yep.
I get you. All right, guys. So on
Cool.
that note, We'll see you guys in the next one. Later.
Peace out.